TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelican, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. Who That family, check out the Pro Shop. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform stores where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. Check out the Pro Shop and Who That too.
Showed me the score, but I haven't watched it.
Recording in progress.
Well, Coach, congratulations. Your team certainly answered the challenge tonight, especially your bench. How important were those guys?
Extremely important for our group that our bench continues to come in and play up tempo, keep the game simple, make the right plays. It was beautiful to watch.
So active and so opportunistic. The number of steals greatly contributed to the number of turnovers they had. Going into the night, was that a point of emphasis, or is that just taking what the game dictates and gives you?
It was. We wanted to be really active with our defense, make sure we get our hand in the pocket pass and try to cause havoc with deflections and steals because it triggers our offensive ability to get out and play in open court. And I thought our guys, for the most part, they did a really good job.
What did you think about that? The Herb block in the second quarter there.
Incredible. Every time Herb touches the floor, he does something to amaze me. And it was just his instincts to be able to rotate, help, get back to a shooter, block it, then go down and lay the ball up on the other end. It was incredible.
To that, was that his guy, or was he just recognizing there was a shooter on the floor? I saw he was rotating because I think Jackson had come over, CJ was in the corner. Like, I was trying to figure that out looking through it.
I don't think that was his guy, but that's just Herb. Like, he puts out the fire. Wherever it is, he stopped the ball. They threw it back to a guy on the wing. He went and just contested the shot. But that's who he is. He just continues to play. He's tough as nails.
How important these games this weekend are very important to try to get that 9-10 game here. How important was it to be able to rest guys the entire fourth quarter and try to buy, even just a little bit of time in this condensed schedule?
No, that's extremely important. That wasn't our mindset coming into the game, is trying to rest guys. Look, we talked about it earlier, but Portland, Sacramento, those, teams that are not necessarily in the play-in or playoffs, they're still going to play hard. It's an NBA team, and they take pride in what they do. So that wasn't our mindset. It was just go in and be the best that we can be tonight. And because of that, it allowed us to be able to get guys out the game early.
Yeah, I think the number at the end of the game ended up being 23 offensive rebounds or something like that. Just what's it been like? You talked about it before, just seeing how this team has started making that playing big, playing physical part of the primary identity of what you guys are doing from night to night.
Yeah, it's a part of our DNA. is rebounding the ball. We understand how important it is. Offensive rebounds gives us extra opportunities to kick the ball out, get open threes, or attack the basket. And our guys have been doing it all season long. Billy, JV, when they're in the game, they're big time rebounders. And when we don't rebound, it's definitely a harder game for us. So really good to see tonight.
And it's that time of the year, Herbs has his name thrown around for, all rookie, all defense, that type of stuff. What's it like seeing not just a rookie, but a rookie perimeter player in a discussion for all defense?
I think he deserves it. Coming into this season and guarding all the guys that he has to guard night in and night out. And he does a great job. And he's only going to continue to get better. I think he deserves it. I think he's worked for it. You look at perimeter defenders around the league, and he's up there right with the best of them. So I know he's a rookie, but it doesn't matter. He's an experienced basketball player and savvy, and he knows how to guard. That's his instincts is really good.
Coach, going back to what Jen asked you about the steals, I think towards the end of the first quarter, going into the second, your team came up with 4 straight steals, but it was all from the reserves. How important is it for your whole team to be playing this well going into which every game is going to be important from here on out?
The steals were fantastic, and it was good that we were able to get our hands on the basketball, cause havoc, get deflections. But we also understand when we play teams that are up and coming, Memphis and Golden State and San Antonio, they're not going to turn the ball over as much. We still have to be active. We still need to get deflections, but those steals may not be there. So we have to be solid, force them to take contested shots, rebound the ball, and go out and execute offensively.
Go to Christos on Zoom.
Coach, congratulations on the win. What do you see about the level of concentration and the consistency that your players brought, especially in the final stretch of the season? How satisfied you are about that?
Very pleased with our level of concentration. We talked about chopping the season up into 10s, and we just finished at 7-3 for the first time all season. So it's good to be playing our best basketball towards the end of the season, and we just want to continue that momentum.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
For all things Pelicans, you're now tuned in the Pelican Post-Game Report. Much love to the flock. Appreciate y'all for being here on this installment of the Pelican Post-Game Report. Pelicans handled that business as they blazed the Blazers, man, 127-90 for the Pelicans. Moving on in that thing, bench developing, everything looking good in the Pelican Nation. So please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We appreciate all the family members for being in this one. Much love to the fam. Appreciate y'all. I'm Big Q chiming in on this episode of the Pelican Post-Game Report. Got my dog DC riding shotgun. Pelicans take them apart 127-94, improve to 36-44. 2 games remain on the Pelicans schedule in this one, DC. Nice win by the Pelicans over the a very young Blazer team. Scrappy team, but the Pelicans did what they needed to do to take this one, my friend.
Most definitely they did, man. And it was by extreme efforts from you, him. Yeah, it was the second line. Yeah, they came in, did their thing, man. The second unit, second line. Excellent nickname, by the way, created tonight. It took us home, man. And the guys went in without BI, went out there, handled their business, getting ready for this back-to-back this weekend, man. The last game we had, we struggled against the Blazers, barely got a win. I think they took that to heart, went in there, were locked in tonight. And top to bottom, man, everybody that touched the floor had a good game tonight. They didn't contribute in one way with points. They contributed in some type of other way. So PJ McCullough, Big V set the tone early in the game. And the second line came in, bro, and just took off and kept it going. Pretty much after that third quarter, we were able to rest our starters for the most part. And you had that amazing play right there, man. Wow. That might be one of the best plays, if not the best play all year for the Pels, man. Herb Jones came from, he was damn near at the center circle. in the paint and came and blocked that shot, man. That was insane. But the block would have been enough. But he got the block, then got the
In the
ball
basket.
and laid it up with the left hand. You know what I mean? That's crazy, man. That's crazy. So excited to be a Pels fan, man. Can't wait for this playing to start. We still got 2 more games to get out the way, but a valiant effort by our Pels tonight, man, and something that we can definitely be proud of. And we had another Josh Hart sighting as usual with the Blazers, man. I swear to God, he wants to come back to the Pels, and we want him back too. So it was good to see Josh Hart out there, man, and everybody, pretty much do their thing. The only thing better would have been nice if Jose Alvarado would have got him a double-double, man. He was 1 assist away from 10, and he had 7 points. So it would have been nice to see him get him a little double-double.
Yeah, for real. DC, they played really well tonight. Enjoyed it.
Yeah.
127-94 final stats on it, fam.
15 steals. You got to say that first.
15 yeah.
That's more important than the score. 15
Not to mention
steals.
23 offensive rebounds, DC. That's pretty spectacular,
God
too.
damn. Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, that's pretty good. Just domination. All right, 44-93 by the Pelicans from the field, 47.3% shooting from the field. They were 13 of 37 from downtown, 35.1%. Blazers 36 of 69 for 52.2. They were 11 of 31 from downtown, 35.5%. Pelicans 26 of 31 from the charity stripe for 84%. Pretty damn good. 11 of 13 by the Blazers for 84.6%. Pelicans 49 rebounds on the night versus 27 by the Blazers. Like I said, 23 offensive boards, just 3 shy of 26 defensive. That's amazing. They got their 30 mark and 131 on the assist versus 21 by the Blazers. Pelicans had 15 steals versus 10 steals by the Blazers. 4-1 block Blazers. That 1 block was the one we just showed you by Herb. They had 22 turnovers by the Blazers today. 36 points off. Pelicans 12 turnovers, 11 points off. And you look at the 25-9 advantage on fast breaks and the 56-46 advantage in points in the paint. So the Pelicans handled the business, led by as much as 37 in the matchup, taking the Blazers down. DC, we spoke about right here. We talked about the fantastic number that was the offensive rebounds with 23 tonight. We can also make mention of the fact that you like 15 steals, pretty good. Also, the foul shooting was also pretty good, and that 84% range, which is right where we need to be. Let's keep it in the 80s, man. We'll win a lot of games that way. But let's talk about that in the team statistics here.
Oh, you already know I like the 15 steals, but that jumps off. But what's even more than that, man? 49 rebounds to 27. That's right there, man.
Yeah,
that one stat tell you everything you need to know right there, man. That means we was playing great defense and securing that possession, and also getting a lot of second chances, which you can see with the 23 offensive rebounds to their 3, which is crazy. You know what I mean? So we pretty much won the game right there by dominating the paint, dominating the glass. Very, very impactful stat right there. But other than that, I like the 31, man. The 31 assists. You saw the guys. I think this is the key for us, man, to be the highest level team that we can be. When they pass the ball, man, the Pels look almost unbeatable. When the ball doesn't stick, CJ McCullough and Brandon Ingram, they kind of do their one-on-one thing, and you don't want to not do that. But when they're able to mesh that with passing the ball effortlessly, and everybody does that same thing, the Pels are damn near unstoppable, Q. So them getting 31 assists is big, man. It's been a while since we hit that 30 mark on assists. A lot of them, come from those steals too as well. So got to point that out. But just the fact that we're being an up-tempo team like that, man, we're top 5 in fast break points. Shit, I think we number 1 in the league in steals, if I'm not mistaken, or at least after the All-Star break. They way up there. But the Pels go on and get a 37-point lead, which is another number that jump out to you, bro. And there was 25 fast break points to 9, man. Impressive victory by the Pels, even though it was a depleted Blazers team that basically sitting a lot of their top guys because they're trying to tank. But we went in there and handled our business. And rightfully so, because we didn't do so well last time, at least up to the expectations you would expect them playing their starters against a Blazers team that's clearly trying to tank.
Yeah, I think that was a big part of what the Pelicans, like you made mention of earlier, to put on a better effort against these teams that's looking for, to tank. Well, let's suplex their ass off that tight rope. Let's power drive them into the tank, man. And as we use them as stepping stones to improve our standing here. But anyway,
sharing the basketball.
Let's keep on moving in this thing as we head to the individual statistics. And the Pelicans had pretty good showing there, as well as CJ McCollum led the effort, 23 points in 29 minutes, 9 of 19 from the field. He was 5 of 10 from downtown. Missed both his charity stripe shots, but still in all 23 points, 7 assists, 4 rebounds, 3 steals. He handled the ball. He had 3 turnovers, but he was plus 19 on the plus minus. And of course, behind him, the other scorer, you have to go to the bench to find the second lead scorer. That was Billy Hernangomez. He put in 26 minutes of action. Billy Hernangomez, 17 points and 14 boards for big Billy Hernangomez. And he pretty good. 5 of 8 from the field, 7 of 7 from the charity stripe. Got his minutes in there. Solid contribution from the bench of the Pelicans, which is what you're going to need to win games in the NBA, fam. And I'm glad to see they're doing it. Big V was third there with 14 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists. Big V only 22 minutes tonight, 5 of 11 from the field. He's perfect from the charity stripe. Plus 10 on the plus minus for Big V in the matchup. And of course, like I said, you got to go back to the bench. We had 2 12-point scorers tonight. Trigger Trey Murphy in 17 minutes, 12 points. A couple of rebounds. He was 4 of 9 from the field, 3 of 6 from downtown for Trigger Trey, 12 from Larry Nance Jr. in 17 minutes. 5 of 7, very efficient. 2 of 2 from the charity stripe. He finished with 12 points, 5 rebounds, an assist for him, and a plus 17 there, as well as Trigger Trey Murphy, a plus 17 in the plus minus. So the Pelicans really stepped it up. And of course, Jackson Hayes, you got to throw him in the mix. 11 points for Jackson, 3 rebounds, just 24 minutes, 5 of 7 from the field. For him, he had about 3 boards there with Jackson. So a full team effort by the Pelicans. As you can see Herb Jones finished with 9 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 block, 25 minutes, 3 of 6, 1 of 3 from downtown. Herb does it all. And of course, once again, a lot of good scoring there. You've seen Jose Alvarado step in the game, DC. Like you said, he was 1 assist off the double. The 3 points he needed for the 10 he would have needed to get that double-double. But 22 points, 22 minutes, 7 points, 9 assists, 4 steals for Grand Theft Alvarado tonight and doing his thing. 5 from T. Snell. DC, first time we've seen T. Snell in some action. Perhaps they kind of getting them ready for the playoffs. We told you.
They're ramping them up.
Ramping them up, getting them ready. This first time in a while since he started, he got 7 minutes tonight. I know they emptied the bench, man, trying to give him some rest here as Pelicans move in the
I wonder if he one of the players that's on the actual scrimmage team with Zion while they doing these scrimmages.
A good question. 5 points for him tonight, a couple of rebounds for T. Snell in the mix. And then, of course, the Pelicans did their thing. 3 from Najee Marshall in 12 minutes. He was 1 of 5 trying to get it going, but not too much shaking from him today as well. So, and also even Lil Harper, DC.
He came in there. That dude, he just came in there and just started scoring points.
He leads the squadron in scoring, our G League, the BM squadron in scoring. He came in, they signed him, and he had 8 points in 5 minutes, 2 of 4 from the field, 1 of 3 from downtown. Pelicans found something really nice in Harper.
Little mini microwave there.
Yeah, he's like instant grits. Might have found our new instant grits.
I don't know, man. I think his scoring is far as the
fast too,
rapid
man.
Pace of it.
He's fast.
A little different than instant grits, bro.
He's fast, man. I give you that.
Instant grits take about a minute.
Instant grits get cooking, man. He gives you the points. He don't do nothing else. He don't play no defense, but he'll get you some points.
Harper is like some of this new age shit, man. This is at like 10 seconds. He ready.
Yeah, 5 minutes, man. 5 minutes got him 8 points.
It don't take him long at all,
bro. Not at all, man. He handled the business pretty fast.
Yeah, he did. But to me, the keys to victory came from several guys, actually, starting with none other than Mr. CJ McCullough, as usual. I mean, what more do you expect? BI's out, so he was going to have to do his thing and turn in a good performance, which he usually does on a nightly basis. I mean, this is just a typical CJ day. A little more efficient from usual behind the 3-point line, though. He was 50% tonight, which is crazy, and he shot 10 of them. So that's very impressive. I don't know what it is with him at the free throw line, man. I really don't understand these free throw woes. Yeah, that's right. The sky is the limit, brother. But I don't understand why CJ keep missing free throws. He's 0 for 2. No big deal, though. Got your 4 rebounds, 7 assists, man, and 3 steals. Did have 3 turnovers, and a few of them when I saw him got him, he went right down and applied some D on their ass and got the ball back. So I don't think he liked that too much. Probably motivated him to get some of them extra steals. But good game from CJ, man. Definitely a key piece in us getting this win tonight. He definitely set the tone. For me, the guy that carried the heavy load on the second line was none other than Willie Herman Gomez. I mean, just relentless intensity and energy and effort throughout the whole game. As you can see, he got 26 minutes tonight, and it didn't start, once the game was over in the third quarter or late. I mean, as soon as they put him in the game, man, he went in there with it on his mind, going with the intent to score and get that goddamn ball with 14 rebounds. He had 5 offensive rebounds. He gave you 17 points. He was 7 for 7 from the free throw line. I mean, just a tremendous performance by Willie Herman Gomez, man. He even got a steal. Definitely a big reason why we won this game tonight. B.I. was out. He was one of those guys that picked up those extra minutes, and he did so admirably. He did a very, very good job, man. And outside of him, to me, a lot of guys stood out. I mean, you could mention Herb Jones. That block definitely that set the team off, man. Because after that, everybody was so energized, man. They went on a nice little run, kind of got things together. Statistically, he's got stats all over the board as usual. Herb had 9 points, 8 rebounds, 5 offensive rebounds. That's right. Herb got 5 offensive rebounds, and Willie Herman Gomez got 5 offensive rebounds. Right? Got 3 assists and that 1 block that should be worth like 10. You know what I mean? So he pretty solid performance from Herb, man. Does what he usually does. As Willie Green said, put the fire out. Find where that fire at and put it out. And that's what he did tonight. The 3 other guys I won't mention, showing everybody love tonight. Larry Nance, man. Larry Nance. Wow. I mean, every game is just getting better and better. Gave 12 points in 17 minutes, 4 offensive rebounds. Every time I batted my eyes, he was doing a tap out, getting a damn offensive rebound. He gave you an assist and basically shot 80% on the night, hit both his free throws. So a lot of good switching and him being in position and helping get other people in position on defense as well, man. He does a lot that's will be classified, I guess, as the little things, they don't always show up in stats. I'm really liking Larry Nance Jr., and I think he's going to be a big part of whatever we do going forward, even into next year. They definitely might think of extending him beyond just that year they got next year. He's very impactful, looking good after that injury, too. Jose Alvarado is another guy, man, kind of led that second unit, was getting a lot of people easy shots. You know what I mean? As you can see, compliments of his 9 assists that he had tonight. He only scored 7 points, but he only took 6 shots. You know what I mean? Took 4 of them from downtown, missed 3 of them. Had one of them that he hit, but, pretty much at the end of the shot clock, CJ gave him the ball too late. But 4 steals, man. 4 steals. So he was leading the charge of that goddamn robbery that we had going on with the Blazers. So Jose Alvarado definitely stepped up tonight, man. Did his thing, and would have to mention Big V as well and Trigger Trey. On a lighter note, 2 guys on the back end. Big V definitely helped set the tone with CJ early with the 14 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists. And Trigger Trey, man, is just getting better every game as well. Shot 50% tonight from the 3 for 6. You know what I mean? Got 2 rebounds, a steal, and it felt like more rebounds than that. Because every time he was getting a goddamn rebound, he was trying to dunk on somebody. He's getting real aggressive, man, and he's trying to do his thing, man. I like what I'm seeing from Trey Murphy. Very confident, playing good defense, and shooting the ball like at an amazing clip right now. So I see a bright future with this guy, man. He's coming on late, and I trip out every time I think of it because I thought it it would be Herb Jones coming on late and him having it going all year. Nonetheless, happy to see the fact that he's coming along. And this can get very dangerous, man. We got a lot of guys like right on the bubble or on the verge of just becoming something really special. I mean, there's multiple guys on this team. Jose Alvarado, Trigger Trey, as we just talked about. Larry Nash coming back from injury, still getting better. You know what I mean? You got Jackson Hayes, who, I mean, you could really mention everybody tonight. It was a team win, man. And they basically went out and played as a team. And everybody did their thing, played their roles, man, and applied something to the game to be able to get this W tonight.
Yeah, Pelicans did a swell job tonight, man. Locking it down, putting it over with, and improving, man. And it feels good to be looking ahead as you get some postseason work that's about to go on, playing or playoffs. Regardless, it's still regular postseason work. Pelicans in that thing. They're getting healthy at the right time. Didn't go as like we were wanted to do to spark up about 45, 50 victories, but nonetheless, this way might be a little bit more dangerous here, DC, we moving forward. And, of course, a very good matchup coming up on Saturday at 5 p.m. It's a primetime matchup, DC, against the Memphis Grizzlies. We got to go up to Memphis to take on these Grizzlies. And these Grizzlies, man, they won 55 games up to this part, DC. They won a lot of games without their top point.
What about the MVP? You mean the MVP?
Yeah, I don't know how you can be the MVP when your team winning games without you.
You mean the most improved player, right?
Well, listen, all I got to say is that's where I stand. But look, whatever. That's their squad, 55-20 for the 29-10 at home. Very tough at home. The Pelicans climbed to 36-44, 17-23 away. As you can see, their top guys they're lynching. Of course, BI and CJ McCollum would be considered the top scorers on the team. Big V's the top rebound, 11.6. And of course, BI and CJ will be listed. CJ and BI would be listed as the leading assist there. And of course, you look at Ja Morant there, 27.6 per game. Pretty impressive stats by the young guy. Steven Adams is the top rebounder at 10 a game. Morant averaging almost 7 rebounds per contest on 33.3 minutes per game. Of course, BI didn't play tonight. We anticipate BI would be ready for the upcoming matchup against Sid Grizzlies. And of course, you look at Ja Morant is listed as out. We'll check the injury.
What injury does Ja Morant have, man? Because he's been out for quite a while.
He has. I'm gonna pull up his stuff here, man, and we'll show it momentarily. But DC matchup indicators is rocking with the Grizzlies.
Oh yeah, I see that. The 33%. We lawyers now, Q. We ain't Pelicans no more. We lawyers. 33% the third of the an eighth. Might as well be a third. So they pretty much saying we ain't got a snowball's chance in hell for the most part. And I get that because Memphis is playing really good. And the last time they played us, man, they did a number on us. Basically ran us up out the building. But we're a different team now. And man, it's gonna be a good game, I think, because even if Memphis decides to rest their starters, Memphis is so deep that they will still, provide a tough game, even if they decide to rest some of these guys. So we got our hands full going into their house. They're playing at an amazing level right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Pels gonna definitely do it though. But go ahead and read off that injury synopsis. I can't even say the goddamn word. I said.
He said he got a knee issue, but he could return against the Pelicans, of course.
Oh, go fix.
Yeah. How about that? They always get well against the Pelicans, don't they?
Damn, Mo said lawyers get 40% now, for real. I need to go back to school. God damn. But appreciate that, VP Saints Pels lady. Keep up the great work, Pelicans. Thanks for consistency. Good pod, Big Q and DC. We appreciate that.
Thank you,
thank y'all for the consistency too, for showing up and supporting us, man. Like Big Q say, we wouldn't be nothing but some people talking to themselves or talking to each other all the goddamn time about the Pelicans without y'all.
That's right.
Oh, Big Q, you seen that? You see that? Just they were crazy as hell. Just man, we'll
be having a good old conversation too. We'll be having I said we'll be having a good conversation too, talking back and forth. But thank you, BB. Appreciate you, Queen. Thank you.
Right. But What we got on the other injuries, man, as far as these guys?
Well, only one that really matter. I mean, I know Tilly is listed as out. He's the only other one. Now, John Morant, it's saying he could be back, DC. So the cupboards will be fully stocked once John Morant comes back against the Pels. So, and you see Desmond Bain, Dylan Brooks, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Steven Adams, there, Tyus Jones off the bench, and several others who give us problems. DeAnthony Melton, Zaire Williams has been playing better. Kyle Anderson is versatile on what he can do, and even Brandon Clark plays good defense and cleans the board up. So they got a pretty strong team. They're well coached, and it'll be a difficult matchup to take on the Grizzlies. But this is the future of the NBA. Between we're talking about this today, the future of basketball in the Western Conference, the Pelicans, the Grizzlies, the Minnesota Timberwolves. These clubs are coming. So I mean, you can look into the future, not too distant future, and see matchups with the Pelicans and Grizzlies battling for the West. I can see that happening as teams like Utah start to slide off, and Sacramento still can't get their stuff right.
Utah might make a
falling in the wasteland
trade or something.
The Lakers falling in to the wasteland. So a lot of these teams that used to be power teams are sliding away and giving way to young clubs. It's a power ship in the West, and the Pelicans are sitting on top of the heap. But DC, let's talk about the Grizzlies, bro. How we get this one?
Well, I won't comment on that, man. You can't say that excellent stuff and expect me not to say nothing on that.
I apologize,
but
you got it.
The power shift in the West, Q, like I told you earlier, man. I can look a lot to the East and look at some things, and you kind of look at a team like the Heat, which will remind me of a team that's like the Memphis Grizzlies. You know what I mean? And the Pelicans to me would be more like Milwaukee Bucks. So you got two amazing up-and-coming teams, man, both supremely talented, but one of them just has a star that's bigger than any other player on the other team, and that would be, a guy like Zion. If he can come back healthy, you got somebody who can reach the level of a Giannis. I can't say on the same level because, man, you got to put in some work for that. Giannis is the best player in the world, you know what I mean? The hell with all the shit everybody else saying. But back to the Pels, man, and this Memphis matchup. Man, like I said, we got our work cut off for us. To me, the key for us after watching that last game is slowing down a guy like Desmond Bain. Desmond Bain is one of my favorite players on Memphis. I wanted the Pelicans to draft Desmond Bain. I constantly say that because I wish I could go back in time and we get him, because he was right there. It's like, I think we had we traded one of our picks or some shit, and we could have got Desmond Bain, man. I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
We gave it up for cash consideration or some shit. And you could have had a guy like this who's a sharpshooter more than that, but he's definitely a sharpshooter. And I got to mention that excellent skill set first, because he torched the shit out of us with it. So that 3-point line is going to be a big thing with this game, because that's how they murdered us last time, man. You had guys like him. What's the other little guy? Milton, I think his name is.
Anthony Milton, yeah.
Anthony Milton. That guy, he might have hit 5 or 6 3-pointers on us, man. They got Dylan Brooks back now. We didn't have to face that last time. This guy's a defensive guy. He come out, does his thing scoring as well. So he's a great two-way player. And you know what it is with Jaren Jackson Jr. And then they saying John Morant is coming back. So we really got our work cut out for us on this one, man. But I think the Pels are playing with an extreme level of confidence. We know who Memphis is, but the one thing that I can say is people are still trying to figure this Pels team out, man, because we're going through so many metamorphoses. Every time you think it's one thing, we have other players that step up, but we're going on the road. So the team, the what we saw tonight with the role players, hopefully that can carry over. And if that does, we can get the W, because I'm pretty sure they're not game planning a guy like Trey Murphy. Yeah, maybe they saw what he did to the Lakers in that one quarter. Larry Nance didn't play last time, which to me seems small, but it's really big because it changes our whole second unit. Jackson Hayes, man, he's playing out of his mind late into the season. Had a pretty solid season all year. B.I. is definitely going to be back. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't think BI played last time we played them. So we have a very legitimate chance of beating this team. I hope they're not resting their players because I would love to see it. You know what I mean? I love to see everybody on the floor with our best lineup, their best lineup, and they go at it. And man, if we get this victory, I'm just telling y'all, family, watch how quiet that should be. Nobody ain't gonna even mention the fact that we beat Memphis. You know what I mean? But we gonna know here in the flock, and that's all we need to know. And this will be a hell of a confidence booster going into the plan, because that Warriors game that we got after this, they've already said Iggy's not coming, Klay Thompson's not coming. I think Steph is still out. So, you know, we very well could get that game. And then we got all the good stuff with Zion on the horizon too. You know, he did the 5-on-5 scrimmages. We're gonna talk about that a little bit after Q gives his take on this Memphis game. But that's what I see, brother. How do you think we get this victory though?
DC is going to be a fight. I think the Pelicans are up for this one. Memphis Grizzlies got their attention last time. And remember, I ain't going to say it was similar to what the Portland Trailblazers matchup was, when Trailblazers Pelicans kind of sleptwalked a bit and finally turned it on. You can notice it's more of a serious demeanor as they approach it. That playoffs, they can smell it. Coach Willie saying we right at the doorstep. We done got there, fam. If we keep sinking in, we can do it. And then that goes to from a psychological standpoint, like if you got a guy coming in that never been a head coach before, you got all these guys, I like him, man, but do he really know what he's talking about? He never did nothing as a head coach, maybe as a such and such. And then over time, kept sprinkling with that love game, kept, lifting you up when you was down. And then over time, he was in there fighting for you. And they went through the heat of the battles, and it crystallized the Pelicans into a tough force. And while all that was going on, it wasn't like one of them situations where you was a team that most people seen as a losing organization through the NBA and they just left you alone. No, they were attacking your most vulnerable player, an injured player, attacking them ferociously for the entire season, to the point where we was upset about how they was doing it. They had to deal with all that, the constant nagging and all this kind of
acting like BI wasn't hurt.
All of this kept on, all this, that, and all in the BI is not clutch. All this talk. Remember that? We had to deal with
TJ McCullough. That's a bad trade. I don't understand what they're doing.
It's all of that. That there's no difference between Big V and Steven Adams. So I mean, we had to deal with all this other kind of.
We had the worst off season of all the NBA teams, family. Don't forget that.
All that. The Pelicans will be in the lottery. That's WB3 quotum. So at the end of the day, the Pelicans are not in the lottery. The Pelicans are in the play-in and pushing for bigger and better things. And the point of the story is that they remember the message. They bought into the message. And as they got closer and closer to the playoffs, they can smell it. And as they get into the play-ins, this will be more and more confidence building.
They smell that bell meat though, right? We gonna be making some bell meat.
Oh yeah, bro. This is a totally different thing because the Pelicans are synced in. You can tell.
So you learned from last time. You know the team.
No, listen, bro. No, I know my squad.
Man had a lot of faith last time.
I didn't because order to beat the men. I didn't have a lot of faith last time, and that's why I was saying pump your brakes on this one. Remember that? Because I sensed it, bro. I didn't want to. Right. And I was like, because I know this squad and I know B-ball, man. And the thing is, in order to beat really good teams like the Memphis Grizzlies, who have 55 wins, this year right now and a couple of games left.
It's still our little brother, though.
Well, I'm going to let you have that. But what I'm saying is that the Pelicans have to have a bench. You just can't outdo a team. That's a team. The only way to beat a good team is to be a better team. That's how it goes. You have to be a team to beat that team. You can't expect 2 or 3 or 4 guys to show up and have an outing and beat the Memphis Grizzlies. It's not going to happen. No. Now they might have an off game
or 2. Hands on deck.
Right. You got to be all hands on deck. You got to be out there. Carlton, look, BI is not clutch. So still in all, we got to deal with some of the negative.
Carlton is like.
Carlton just trolling.
You gotta love him, man. He
Carlton just trolling
but
on
he's
that.
Like the biggest troll we have, bro.
No, he ain't. WB3 is the biggest troll we got.
Well,
man.
yeah, well, he
that's
got a close second. though.
Carlton
All right,
sneaks in
He
there
the,
with commentary every now and again.
he the biggest
we
troll
love
in
Carlton.
the chat because he the most consistent. WB3 just pop up on random ass days and say the most outlandish shit, and then he disappear for like 3 episodes.
Yeah, come back. Yeah, man, we in the playoffs. Hold on. WB3, you with the rain machine, you was raining on us, bro. Talking about we was a lottery team. But
Nah,
anyway,
I turned that shit off.
When? When did you do that? When you do that? But anyway,
10 minutes ago.
That's yeah, that's right. But see, the thing is, that's what I'm saying, DC. In this matchup, it feels different. The Pelicans have a bench, and that's something that we were advocating to sustain winning. Even when your stars are not there performing, you've got to have a bench. The Pelicans have a bench. You mentioned Larry Nance. He was a big part of the trade. He's healthy and getting better. And of course, as we progress and get into the season, you see him empty the bench. T. Snell will get minutes. And it's so, and you know what, DC was really so vibrant about the conversation is the fact the Pelicans have so many players that they can move around and do stuff at any given moment. DC, you can let Billy Hernan-Gomez sit for 5 games and then put him in the game and he'll turn around and give you a double-double. It doesn't matter. And when you got that type of player like a Billy and all these type and the Najis and all these other Jose Alvarado, Grand Theft running around, the Pelicans have discovered a bench and a family, and they love each other. And you see it translate not just in the starting lineup, but they're a team now. Trigger Trey Murphy's online. Herb, you see what Herb's done progress as one of the better defenders in the league. Trey's online with his aggressiveness. So it's so many things that you throw into the mix that the Pelicans are a dangerous team. So on the other thing,
Willie Green's ability to adapt. Because
that's right.
If you notice, when we play teams more than once, we always come back with a different game plan, man, and we look to fix our mistakes. So there you go. Far as that, who was saying Willie Green should be the coach of the year, I give him a mention, Patrick.
Well, one of the family members, I put the comment on the stream.
You can't because of like, I know us here. I think he deserves it. So I just want to say that. But you do got to understand.
Mention in the conversation, they saying not. Some people say he should win it. That's a bit far fetched.
But have we ever had anybody mentioned in the conversation that had a below 500 record?
I can't.
I'm sure they have some kind of criteria to even mention them. You know what I mean?
Maybe some research.
I would think your record percentage would have to be. You know what I mean? Because you got to think, family. If we didn't have the play-in, let's say this was the NBA of old, and when I say of old, I mean of before the last 2 years. Willie Green wouldn't get no mention. Yeah, he'd get a little praise from around the league, but we would be out of the playoffs. It's a new day, new time. We got way more talented guys now. They have so many players that are good now that I think they had to do the playing thing. So I'm not trying to, talk down on that. I'm just saying it's kind of hard to get that mention when you got teams like Boston that did what they did.
Phoenix.
You got a team like Phoenix.
Sustained
right?
Success.
You got a team like Memphis. That's 3.
Even Cleveland. Charlotte, Cleveland, some of these guys.
You can put up there. You got a team like the Miami Heat. You know what I'm saying? Who everybody clowned when they got into that fight and they had a 4-game losing streak. And then they went on a 5-game winning streak and nobody talked about that. You know what I mean? So it's so many different teams you could talk about in that respect. So as much as I would like to see Willie Green mentioned, if he's not, I understand why he's not. And look, I just think it's better because I think that's going to give us even something to fight for harder next year. Because I know them players know that Willie Green should be in a goddamn coach of the year candidate, and they going to want to see him up there because they love Willie Green, because Willie Green loved him. You know what I mean? So it's only a matter of time. He going to get it. But you right about that one, Carlton Banks. Oh, that's a different call. But yeah, I should have knew better. Carlton the troll would never say this. But Carlton Banks 17-14. That's $17 14 cents. Appreciate that, brother. Need some Herb Jones all NBA defense t-shirts, hats, socks. Campaign. You right, man, because Herb Jones should definitely be all team NBA defense. I wouldn't expect him to be first team, because that's like a popularity contest when you get up there. But Herb should definitely be on one of them goddamn teams because you can't. He on the rookie team. He's first team rookie team. We know that. But the hell with that little shit. Herb Jones is playing on a level of like Mikal Bridges. You know what I'm saying? People that they talking about for defensive player of the year, he's almost in that tier. Marcus Smarts and guys like that. Jared Jackson Jr. He's that impactful for us. If anybody who watches the Pelicans, man, and you see what it looked like as far as our defense with her about the game and the starters are out there, that shit don't look too good. It is a night and day difference. Not to say that our guys don't play good defense in their own right. It's just Herb is superior in those areas, man, and he should definitely be all team defense. I would say at least second team, but you know how it is, man. They love to hate on the Pels. We haven't been a popular team this year because Zion ain't playing. So apparently anything we do, as long as Zion ain't playing, don't deserve any recognition. They gonna ignore the numbers, gonna ignore the fact that we I think fifth in the NBA in net percentage when you combining a lot of these overall stats. And Herb Jones guards the best player every goddamn night. So to be that great at what he does, the man just tied Anthony Davis and Chris Paul's. Well, Chris Paul I think had 183 at 187. He got their record for steals and blocks in franchise history up there. You know what I mean? So, man,
second round draft pick.
Amazing player, man. Got him in the second round. And nobody
first round
talks about
talent
him
in the
outside of
second
us.
round draft pick, man. The first round talent from the start to the finish. Herb Jones, every game gives you the same intensity. Big point about this too, fam. When the trade went down, when we packed and shipped Josh Hart out of here to Portland to acquire CJ among others, the temperament was we didn't want to lose the ferocity of the defensive mindset that Josh Hart helped build here in New Orleans. And if you think about it, think about the intensity defensively and where it is now. Guys like Herb Jones, guys like Grand Theft Alvarado, those guys sustain that same mentality here. And as you see, it's now infectious. It done spread across guys like Trigger Trey Murphy, who's trying to dunk on people, giving you a better effort defensively speaking, his offense coming along. A lot of guys have gotten better on the defensive end and that mindset. So I gotta give credit where credit's due, man. That was one of my concerns. Like, okay, we need to maintain, but the Pelicans are learning and they just continue to grow, man, with that mindset, man. Real well. All right, so DC. All right, DB says Big Q DC. Who found Herb Jones?
I believe it was a Trajan Langdon. I just give him more credit for the draft because I remember looking at those Knicks rosters and because I was confused that first year. Not the Knicks. I said the Knicks. I meant the Nets.
Nets, right?
When I was like, how the hell did they make the playoffs? And then I went looking at their roster and stuff.
He was good.
And I looked at their GM and saw who was putting that together. And I knew who Trajan Langdon was before we got him because of that. And when you look at that team that they had a lot of guys that were like 6'7", 6'8"ish. That is just a lot of those long, tall perimeter players that can kind of play shooting guard, small forward, slide in at power forward. And to me, Herb Jones is exactly one of those guys. He just said his only downside was, I guess, his offensive game. You probably could use, some more skill, but he definitely has the IQ. He's just a smart basketball player. And ultimately, I think it tied into us being tied to that Alabama pipeline. So I'm going to step out on the limb and give Trajan Langdon some credit again for that. And maybe David Griffin had a little bit to say in that too with the Alabama pipeline.
You got to throw Swin in that too, bro.
And the one player that had a big impact on us getting hurt, and that is probably like 33 in the third, was Kyra Lewis. I'm pretty sure they talked to Kyra Lewis, and he had nothing but great things to say about her and was telling the front office that we need to draft him.
Yeah, they were looking
As
at Herb
well
Jones.
as our other insider who Big Q loves to point out, the little general. Avery Johnson.
We got to get everybody together. Avery
He loves
Johnson,
New
man.
Orleans, and he wants us to win, and I'm pretty sure he gave them a good word about Herb as well. So we had a lot of people on our side in bringing Herb here, and I'm pretty sure him being from this area, this is the closest NBA team to where Herb Jones is from. So him playing for the Pelicans, I'm sure is, nothing short of a dream for him. So he had a player that wanted to be here, all type of support, insider information on his character, who he was, how good he was, that we heard behind the scenes. The NBA ain't standing a chance on getting Herb Jones. He was made, born, and built to be a Pelican. And he going to retire a Pelican because the Pelicans are wise enough to never let him go.
Very well said, DC. And they'd be smart not to let him go. Let's get to our last topic right here. Pelican Zion Williamson participates in controlled scrimmage amid injury rehab by Dark Sam, coming from the Bleacher Report here, covering that the Pelicans forward Zion Williamson likely won't play in a regular season game this year, but he's making progress in his recovery from foot injury. Pelicans head coach Willie Green told reporters that Williamson did some full court work on Thursday by participating in what he called a controlled scrimmage with player development coaches. The Pelicans 35-44 have 3 games remaining, actually now 36 and 44 have 3 games left on the schedule, including Thursday night matchup against Portland. We took them out already. New Orleans is locked into a spot in the play-in tournament, giving the team a chance to make the playoffs for the first time since 2018. If the Pelicans do advance in the postseason, it would be a surprise to see Williamson take the floor without getting his feet wet in the regular season game first. However, his recovery could be enough to sway New Orleans to add him to the lineup whenever the opportunity arises. Williamson posted a video of himself dunking on social media in March. Near the end of the month, he also traveled with the team on a multi-game road trip for the first time this year. New Orleans has won 7 of its last 10 games and 4 of its last 5. The team looks to be gelling at the right time, led by the duo of CJ McCollum and B.I. Since being acquired from the Blazers this year's trade, McCollum is averaging almost 26 points a game, 5.2 points above his average in Portland. And Ingram has been hobbled by a hamstring injury, but in the 5 games he played in last month, he averaged 29 points flat a game. Good information indeed. And it's one of the NBA's worst kept secrets that Zion Williamson is returning for the Pelicans, perhaps in the next couple of games. Some say no. Some say play in. Some say Golden State. We'll see. DC, what say you?
At this point, according to Rumorville, he was supposed to be back tonight. So who knows? But I will say this, as long as the Pelicans are alive in this whole thing, Zion Williamson has a strong chance and possibility to play, man. Even if we get in a playoff series and it's just him playing a little, for team morale, I think it could help uplift spirits if we get in a tough patch and, we kind of need something to push us over the edge, a little emotion, even if he's not fully conditioned already in that way. Just to have him out there, maybe to appease him as well, because he seems to want to play really badly, according to his stepfather, and just what you see from him on the bench. So I think Zion definitely plays. I'm willing to step out on a limb and say that. I could be wrong as hell. But just, where there's smoke, there's fire. So I don't think we keep hearing all of this, and he's not going to play at all. He's never been officially shut down by the team. I mean, we had some Pelicans reporters that made articles and stuff saying that he wasn't going to play, but there was never any physical interview or confirmation from anybody in the team front office that I've heard that said he wasn't going to play. I've heard fans say they heard Trajan Langdon say he wasn't going to play during the season at a home game and different things like this. But Zion in that interview from his stepfather this week, man, I think it puts a lot of pressure on the Pelicans to at least allow him to make a go at it. If he's cleared by the team doctors or his own doctors or whatever, I think they got to let him play, man. It's the smartest thing to do at this point. I mean, what do you really have to lose? You don't want him to get injured, right? Well, I mean, he ain't played all year. So him playing now, I don't think will get him injured. And if he does get injured, he probably was going to get injured anyway. So I get it. on trying to be smart and protect the player from himself. That's why minutes restrictions and all those things exist. But if the guy wants to play and he can play and actually contribute on the level where he's played before, then hey, if he's not in basketball shape, I say you just cut his minutes and give him the amount of minutes that he can play for the shape he's in. If he don't like it, so what? Like that's what we got. Take it or leave it. I don't want to see the short burst, but if that bullshit is the only way to get him on the court, then hey, short burst, here we go.
Yeah, I ain't kidding. He definitely gonna play at this point, it appears. I mean, him dunking, posting that video definitely puts pressure. If you never seen him dunking in that video, would we all be thinking
He's
about this?
doing 5-on-5s now.
That's
you know,
true. The process, the
teamwork,
expediting
he's doing
process.
scrimmages. You know,
Realistically speaking, we said this before, Zion Williamson plays later on this year, maybe in the last game of the year. 15 to 18 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, nothing more than 20 minutes a night, depending on where you place him in the game. And truth be
but what
told,
if you down to the last minutes of the game, Q, and he didn't hit 4 3-pointers? You just gonna take him out because he hit 18 minutes?
I mean, you got to have a little leverage there, but I mean,
that 1 minute might just,
I don't
might
know.
just hurt him.
No, I don't, because I think with Zion Williamson in there, and of course, this is a different team than what he left. I mean, the team that he left and the team that he's coming back to, that's two total teams, man. Total team. I mean, you got guys like Big V, a big 7-footer who can hit 3-pointers, is a good passer, has moves around the paint, fade away jump shooter from 15 feet, all this kind. I mean, Big V hits from anywhere on the court if he needs to. CJ does what he does. BI does what he does. Herb does what he does. Then, of course, Zion comes back and powers the bench. If he starts 15, 20 minutes or whatever the case may be, I mean, Jackson goes to the bench. It's just Larry Nance is there. I mean, this is a different team than the team that he left, man. So, I mean, regardless or not, I don't think he needs he won't carry a lot of burden point-wise, offensively speaking. It's a shared situation. And that kid ready to come back, man. If he healthy enough to play, then I would say let him play 15, 20 minutes, whatever. I mean, that one. And then, of course, if you see him progressing and he's doing well, of course, you're going to go up a little bit on the minutes, depending on his progress and how he's doing. So, like I said, if he's healthy enough to play and he's dunking off the goddamn backboard, throwing stuff off the backboard, and the doctors got him in 5, I mean, and the medical staff got him in 5-5, and hey, and he can help. That turns the Pelicans into something totally different. If his health is finally where it's supposed to be, and he don't have to shoulder as much burden as he was doing before, man, let me tell you something. The Pelicans drastically look different, and they scare the hell out of bald-head bastards like Stephen A. Smith and the rest of these jackasses about the Pelicans that like to laugh at us while they teams falling through the flow. Laugh at us, not Lakerland. Now that you guys suck and you got BI and you want Anthony Davis out there and you wanted Russell Westbrook and what's that other dude that went out there and did nothing but clean up and take out the trash and mop the floor. What's his name? Carmelo Anthony. I mean, all them dudes is just collecting free money out there. Them dudes can't help you do a damn thing. Pelicans are on the rise right now. So yeah, Zion Williamson, if the doctors believe that he can help 5-on-5, he's doing it right now. He definitely going 15, 20 minutes, DC. We'll see how it all works.
He will, man. But at this point, if you don't see him playing this Memphis game or the Warriors game, it'll be obvious what the next strategy would be to me. It would be either the play-in or they just hold him in case we make it to the playoffs. Maybe that's their idea or their mind frame is like, look, Zion, if they win these play-in games, we're going to let you go ahead and try to risk it in the playoffs. But if it ain't the playoffs, if they lose the play-in games, then just next year. So I don't know what the conversations are. It could be that. It could be maybe the doctors ain't cleared him. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe Zion's saying all of this and he wants to play. But, the medical team is like, wait a minute. We ain't had them scans, them scans that take a month for you to get them pictures of for some reason. They tell us we're going to get scans and then we got to wait 3 weeks So I don't know what that whole process is or how that goes. Maybe that's really the process, and it takes 3 weeks to get his scans back. So they don't want to wait 3 weeks every time. They wait to see until they feel like he's really close, or they want to see the progression and they send off for the scans. Maybe we wait for some damn scan pictures to come back. Who knows? But the truth of the matter is, with all of this smoke, all of this talk, the fact that he's being ramped up, you know, whether he plays or not, that aspect of it is good news. The smoke is because we're getting attention, even though it's negative attention. I think the fact that if the Pelicans can capitalize on everybody worrying about when Zion will come back, if they just could go out there and handle their business, whether he comes back or they don't, if the Pelicans make it in the playoffs, man, and they win a playoff series, or if they just push the team to a 6 or 7 in the first round of playoffs, getting some playoff victories, people have no choice but to give the Pelicans their flowers, man, from where they started this season and where they got it to. So we're in a win-win situation right now. If we lose in the play-in, man, ain't none of us here gonna be terribly mad. We may be a little upset because we want them to go further, and I don't think they're gonna lose at all. I got them locked in the playoffs, but I'm just saying the Pelicans are in the driver's seat, man. They playing with house money right now. We're gonna get a damn top 10 pick from the Lakers, and Zion is getting healthy. So whether he plays or doesn't play, we're putting ourselves in position to be contenders next year. How big of contenders we can be, well, we got a lot weighing on that between these next 2 games and these playing games.
Lion of Calvary, thank you for your super chat, my friend. Good on the Pels. Thank you, fam. Appreciate you. Thank all the family members for your super chats as well. And this one, Zion Williamson comes off the bench. And I know, and family members asking, does he impact the team's chemistry? I don't think so.
Wait, hold up. I want to say one thing about that. Why do people think that Zion coming back would impact the chemistry of the team if he's playing limited minutes? I don't think it affects our starters at all. If anything, if he's playing limited minutes, I think we would be smart if he did start. He going right out the game. If he started, he coming out the game real early. You know what I mean? And you have him run some minutes with the bench unit. You know, and the fact that his game and how smart Zion is on the court, he can play with anybody. Yeah. And there ain't really that many players on this team he ain't played with, other than you got Herb, you got Trey, you got CJ, Jose, Larry Nance. Am I missing somebody else that's in the rotation that he ain't played with? Okay, so all of those guys I just mentioned are probably some of the smartest basketball players on our team.
No, I don't think he impacts the chemistry, fam.
I don't think so either. He's with the team right now, so it's not, he's getting to know him, he's bonding with him, the guys that he don't know.
Yeah, JV.
I think it would be fine because it's not like he's coming back to be the top dog right now. If he was coming back to play 30 minutes or so, then I could see what people are saying. But Zion's gonna come back and he's gonna be on limited minutes. He has to be. So I think he can do anything but help because he can score a ton of points in very short period of time. So, I think if anything, it'll give us a huge boost in those moments where we decide to play him when we need it.
Not only that, but DC getting them back on the floor with Big V, CJ, Herb, BI, and this entire new Pelican staff that he didn't see since he's been here. You can throw JV in the mix of the guys he ain't played with. But the reality is he gives them a large spiritual boost and a big confidence boost too coming into this thing. And with him coming into it, he's prime time. All the television networks gonna automatically find a reason to put you.
Crazy.
It's going electric. He brings with him. He brings with him an enormous electricity and a large. When he gets on the court,
one goddamn dunk, Q. Just take one dunk or one 3-pointer. Everybody gonna go nuts.
Right. He's so electric. He brings that electricity to the court, and it electrify. Just take the Pelicans, rise them to another level. It'll electrify the family base and bring them together. It'll turn all these garbage networks and focus them on New Orleans and what the Pelicans are doing. So I mean, like I said,
say good things. It'd be impossible to say bad things.
Yes, it's coming. So with that being said, fam, listen, we're gonna bounce on that point. We will return on Saturday night to recap the Pelicans matchup against the Memphis Grizzlies. Of course, we're gonna make sure we have our
y'all be able to call in too on Saturday. That's gonna be. We're not doing a Friday show, and since we're not doing a Friday show, man, go check out the Pelicans episodes. My bad, Big Q. Very heart touching. The ones I seen, episode 9, when they covered Devontae Graham and one of his biggest fans. The girl's been following him since 5 years old, and you can see that wonderful team chemistry you speak of in that episode too, with them giving Swin Cash her flowers. Shout out to her, man, for making it to the Hall of Fame. Such an amazing basketball player, amazing basketball mind, helping in the Pelicans front office.
Don't forget Swin, man. Swin and Trajan Langdon he's the general manager. Swin's in there too. Real smart lady, man.
Teaspoon too.
Yep. Teaspoon is another one. Coach Fred. So I mean, it's a lot of people in there putting in the due diligence underneath there with Coach Willie. That this squad, man, taking the Pelicans that hadn't seen the playoffs since 2018, getting them into the play-in, and with Zion coming back on restricted, and of course getting better and better and better, you'll see things kind of get better and move forward. The Pelicans are right. You know, we there, fam. We're there. We just have to keep on doing what we do. So with that being said, I appreciate all y'all for checking in on the Pelican post-game report tonight. Please feel free to hit the like button if you hadn't hit it. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and feel free to share the show links on your social media feed as well. Much love from me and DC. We'll see you guys on Saturday night in the win over the Memphis Grizzlies. Much love.
Right in our places, we eating some bell meat. Let you know now.
Go Pels.
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That.